All right, here we go. Off a 3-2 winning week. We've been 3-2 or 2-3 every single week this year. It's our Blazin' 5.
Hot day.
Let's blaze it up.
Hope you can take the heat.
It's Colin's Blazin' 5. Blazin' 5 in the herd. Panthers at Titans.
I'm going to take the Titans plus 5.5. I think Carolina probably wins, but Mike Mularkey and Marcus Mariota last week gave this team some energy. We know Dan Campbell, an example, a new coach can give you energy for a couple of weeks. Listen, Marcus Mariota's first 6 games have been among the best by any rookie quarterback in the last half century. I'm not joking. He's tied with Dan Marino for passing touchdowns this early in his career. And he's complemented by a defense that gets off the field quickly. The Titans are 4th in the NFL and not far from number 1 in creating 3-and-outs. And Carolina is the only team in the NFL that runs more than it passes. Tennessee's rush defense is very, very good. So Carolina is 8-0, despite the fact that Cam has given that ball away 9 times through interceptions. This is a Carolina team that depends on the run against a Tennessee team that defends it well, against a energized football team at home, getting 5.5 points. I think the Titans lose close, 27-26, but I'm taking the 5.5 in Tennessee.
Cardinals at Seahawks.
This, to me, is as good as any bet this weekend. Arizona gets 3. I'll take them. I think they beat Seattle. Listen. This is not the same Seahawk team. They're 4-4. You want to know who their wins are against? The Bears when Jimmy Clausen was quarterback. The Matt Castle quarterback Cowboys. San Francisco when they were in a free fall. And oh, by the way, the 1-7 Lions. This is not a great football team. And Las Vegas is sort of trapped here, because they know Arizona is even or better than Seattle. All the numbers tell you that, but the public would go all in on Seattle if they were a home dog or it was a pick'em. So you've got to balance at certain times with low numbers. You got to balance the public's eagerness to bet on a team. Remember, coaching matters in this league. Carson Palmer threw for 375 yards and 4 TDs in Week 8. It gives him 20 scoring passes this year in the NFC. That's more or the most of any Cardinals quarterback through 8 games all time. Coaching matters. Bruce Arians is taking a B-plus quarterback and making him an A quarterback. And Arizona has scored 80 points off opponents' turnovers, the most in the National Football League. And Seattle can turn it over. I'm getting a better team, a well-coached team, a team that's healthier, that's better up front offensively. And I'm getting a field goal against a Seattle team that frankly turns it over and doesn't score in bunches. I'm going to take Arizona with the upset 24-23.
Cowboys at Buccaneers.
Listen, Tampa Bay is a lousy home team, and Dallas is not a very good team. The Bucs have dropped 12 of their last 13 at home at Raymond James. I'm going to take the points here. When you have 2 average teams and I get points, I'll take the points. Also, some of Dallas's losses have been close, and they've been to decent teams. They have not lost to all dogs. Also, Dallas is well coached. How do I know? Because their best quarter is their first quarter. They're top 8 in the league in first quarter scoring, meaning schematically they come in with a game plan. They just have limitations at quarterback. Each of the Cowboys' last 3 losses have come via a blown lead. Again, Dallas is well coached. Dallas takes a lead. Dallas loses lead. But here I think they can protect it against a very weak rushing defense of Tampa Bay. I think Dallas gets a lead. Dallas leads the NFL in time of possession. They're going to get a lead. They're a better first quarter team. They're going to have the football and be able to maintain it over a very average defense. I'm going to take the points here. Dallas finally wins a game before Romo returns, 26-23.
Jaguars at Ravens.
Well. I'm going to take the Jags again. They're getting 5.5 points. Listen, you don't want to hear this. Jacksonville offensively is not far away from being very special. And the Ravens aren't that far off of being 0-8. They got lucky against the Steelers in OT, and they beat the Chargers with a field goal at the gun. Baltimore could be 0-8. And the Jaguars have been around and hanging there with every team they played except New England. Listen, Jacksonville has one of the most improved rush defenses in the NFL from a year ago. Okay? They're allowing the fewest yards per rush in the NFL. Secondly, the Jaguars' offense has 44 plays of at least 20 yards. Do you realize that's tied for second? They have big strike receivers. And Blake Bortles, as we told you last week when we took the Jags and won with the points, Blake Bortles is figuring out a way to cut down on mistakes and get the ball to his strikingly good wide receivers. And it should be noted, Baltimore is lousy against the pass. They've allowed 33 catches of at least 20 yards this season. That's among the worst in the NFL. I'm going to take the points and an explosive Jacksonville offense, and I'm going to take them to go to Baltimore and win their first road game in a long time. Jags 27, Baltimore 26.
Lions at Packers.
So far, I have taken 4 underdogs. I am now going to take a favorite, and I never do this. It's 11 points. I never swallow 11 points, but I've got a couple of things working here. Yes, Detroit's off a bye week, where they fired their president and GM. Okay, it was a mess over the last 14 days. Secondly, Aaron Rodgers is getting the first criticism of his career. He's got a chip on his shoulder when things are going well. This is a Green Bay staff and quarterback who will keep the starters in if they get a lead, and they will at Lambeau, and they will go for the jugular. They will not, with a division team as they struggle, take their foot off the gas. Also, Green Bay in the last couple of weeks has lost, but they've also faced the Denver and Carolina defenses. Those are elite. This is a Detroit defense, bottom 5 in the National Football League. Green Bay has scored 73 first-quarter points, most of any team in the league. Now they're at Lambeau. Now they're ticked off. And this Detroit offense has scored fewer than 20 points 6 times. It's the worst offensive line, arguably, in football with virtually no running game. We know Green Bay's getting a lead. We know Detroit won't score much. We know Green Bay's angry. We know they're facing the first criticism, Aaron Rodgers, in his career. They're at home. They will win. They'll win big, and they will not take the foot off the gas to keep that psychological edge because they need to click things in Green Bay right now. It is not a happy place. I think it's the rout of the weekend, Green Bay 37 and Detroit 20. So 4 dogs and the Packers as a huge favorite, and I know all my friends are going to text me and say, are you out of your gourd? Because you're never supposed to take a huge favorite in the NFL. But when the huge favorite is ticked off and playing a team that's falling apart and has the worst O-line in the league, I'm going this week with it.